the first of two matches to be played in France in this World Cup.
I was having a chat to Trent Robinson before the match, and he knows some of these Catalan players so well in this French side, and he thinks the forwards are the real strength to it, the likes of Elimar and also Castri, and he believes Bentley's got the goods at hooker. So the premiership winning coach with the Roosters this year has had a lot to do with these French players. He'd know.
Last night, Trent Robinson, in fact, was invited into camp to present the French jumpers to the players for this test. Now the haka for the Kiwis that they unveiled in their warm-up game against the Cook Islands. To Iwi Kiwi is the haka of New Zealand. French players lined up just their side of halfway. This is going to be quite the performance, this one. Ground announcers getting them plenty wound up. Here we go. Isaac Luke to lead the haka for New Zealand. Needless to say, they are ready too. A mixture of cheers and boos from the crowd.
Yeah, an interesting look too on the Frenchman's faces. The real young one you saw there on screen was young Theo Fage. He's only 18 years of age, played a lot of time with the French side this year. As you see a last look at the New Zealand team here, just who will fit onto that left edge with Alex Glenn and also Frank Pritchard, both left edge players. Good impact off the bench. Elijah Taylor, Frank Paul Nuasala, Gregory Sood, and the big fella Cassiano.
And this is most unusual. France have broken away from that and have gone into another warm-up. I don't think I've ever seen that before. They've decided that not enough, having seen the haka and Jared Maria-Hargreaves giving it absolutely everything.
It's become quite popular after the Sippy Towel or the haka for teams to go away and refocus onto their skills and cut a little bit of a touch of the football and maybe get a little bit of blood pumping through the legs if you've been idle for a little while.
And that French side, as Darryl mentioned, Fage, the young halfback, the young fullback as well, Escarre, you're talking about the bit of the future of French rugby league in those two young stars. Whatever you see from them tonight, they will only improve on, but they will soak up this experience this evening.
The real key to their game is Thomas Bosch, the 5'8" and number 6. He has a beautiful kicking game on him, and if he gets it going tonight, he can cause some problems for the Kiwis.
And one of the go-to men in this French side, their left centre, Vincent Dupont. He is the man with the orange boots, and he can cause some damage. Phil Bentham, referee for this one. Group B of the Rugby League World Cup. We head into another huge weekend of matches across Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Heavyweights, England and Australia involved in matches tomorrow. An enticing double-header coming up on Sunday across two countries. Here we go. The Avignon experience is underway. France versus New Zealand. Two of the originals from the 54 World Cup. And Maria-Hargreaves was the man with the first touch when they played in that first ever World Cup. It was France winning 22 points to 13. New Zealand got their revenge some 3 years later in 57. And this is Matalino, ready to run. Missed the opening game against Samoa. It's a good side that can leave out Ben Matalino from their 17. As Foran took them to the left, and a spirited charge there from Pritchard. There's no lack of size in the French forwards to try and counter, and Maria Hargreaves was met front on by Andrew Bentley. Right there, 5 metres inside the French half, and Johnson is going to bomb high. Have a look at this kick coming down 15 metres out. The Kiwis went up early. Foreigners fumbled. And that's something that has crept into the game, the early challenge for the ball. It's off-putting for the man trying to receive it on the defensive side, and I think that was a case in point there, Daryl.
Back off, France.
Easy yards on offer coming out of their own end, the Kiwis. The kick goes up. Is that a Falcon? For sure. Zachary took his eye off the ball. Not a breath of wind at the stadium. It is as calm as.
That's one word I didn't look up in the French dictionary. What's French for Falcon? Le Falcon. But no, it wasn't. It was off the shoulder. So France have their first possession, and there is Dufour with it. I like what I see of that, of him. I think he can cause some damage. And what about that defence? The front rowers make a French baguette out of that one. The two front rowers, Maria Hargreaves and Madalena. Good counter though, followed up by Bentley to get as far as the 40-metre line. But we've got a game on our hands as Elimar, the captain, ball has come loose, bounces up and play on for Bosk, finds a willing runner. And it's pretty good. It was slightly scrappy, but they've managed to get themselves inside the New Zealand half. Farge is the young man in the striped headgear at halfback. Needs to settle himself into the match. This is the big stage. Played there by Ragan, one of the more experienced players. Bosk goes just as high as Johnson. Great kick. Put down by Locke. Play on from France. No, they're going to say penalty. Well, that could have been a chance for the French side very early. That was a mighty kick from Thomas Bosk.
I like that set of 6 from the French. You think they've got to chance their arm a little. There's a couple of offloads in it. And when it comes to the kick here, have a look from Bosk. Now, this ball hardly rotates on the way down, so you know it's going to float a little. And Kevin Locke wants to make a good play at the start of the game. So he comes up to try and take it in the air. Knocks on.
Here he is. Only offside, probably by about 7 metres. It's pretty clear cut. I mean, you see players time their runs perfectly.
Move!
He went off yesterday in chase of the kick. He went off that early. So now the Kiwis with 4 and up on halfway and a little show of the ball to the outside. But defence there. Remy Casti, the man who was Roosters bound in 2014. He will get his farewell appearance at Perpignan on Monday week. Madaleno charges forward. Bentley was there. Busy early, the lock forward for France. Playing alongside of his brother tonight. They weren't on deck for the match against the Kummels. So it's a moment for that family. 4 and left side, nice work. And the defence was good. Winger came in. Cyril Staku came in to make a good tackle on Locke. This is Foreign. Kicks across field, not all that high. Up they go. And they have a catcher though in Inu. Creston Inu, a clean take to score. The opening try of the match. It's a weapon. Inu scores for the Kiwis.
Brilliant kick from the half. Watch Kieran Foran. Doesn't kick to the corner. Kicks midfield towards the side of the post. And guess who? Somewhat of an unforgotten man in the team, Creston Inu. Question mark whether he might have made the squad if Sean Kenny Dow had been fit after the Roosters grand final. But he is excellent in the air. Loves playing on that right centre. We know he's got the drive and the energy in his legs to leap and the skills to take those balls up in the air. And when he got up, it was somewhat uncontested, believe it or not. Had a clean take at it.
And the Avignon crowd go a little quiet. They were encouraged by the start. But then one attacking kick. And Creston Inu's catch was deadly. And a 4-0 scoreline. Inu, the man that when he made his Test debut back in 2007, it was after just one match in the National Rugby League. Went from one game of first grade at Parramatta to a test match for New Zealand. And now Johnson, and you talk about big games early in your career, his 16th game was a grand final in the NRL back in 2011. Taking a lot of time with his kick. My co-commentator Daryl Halligan is his goal-kicking mentor at the Warriors during the National Rugby League season. And Johnson, first kick successful, a 6-0 lead.
So here's the kick from Foran once again, and watch the timing of Inu up and grabbing it clean. These balls are a little bit springier than the ones in the NRL. I had the good luck to actually have a knock around with them earlier in the week, and they come off the foot a little bit quicker. So you've got to be a little bit slower in your action. The guys are just finding their way with them.
Well, there's a centre spot up for grabs, you've got to believe, in this New Zealand side, as Waria Hargreaves runs it back, and he's all wound up. He is quite the leader these days. Sydney Roosters, premiership winning front rower. And energetic defence from France, but there's no shortage of runners coming. Bentley made the tackle there. That was the lock forward, Andrew Bentley. New Zealand back as far as the 40-metre line. That time with Martelino, and Johnson's going to kick from 5 metres inside his own half. He's turned the winger Frederic Vakari around, and no play at it from Escaré, so France will have a scrum feed 10 metres out from their own line. But they've got their game faces on New Zealand, nothing too fancy. Getting over the advantage line, looking to lay a platform here.
Yeah, here's the final play with Johnson, works it perfectly, spacing behind the fullback and winger and finds a touch. But in that set of 6, I like the fact there's a couple of players in New Zealand who didn't get a touch in the first 2 sets. It was Alex Glenn who come over and had a nice little run on the left-hand side. He's playing right edge this evening.
Beautiful conditions for the match as well, as the ground announcer gets the crowd wound up. But the locals talk about the wind, Le Vent, or as it's known here in Avignon, Le Mistral. Well, no sign of Le Mistral today. It's absolutely not today or tonight. It's been mild conditions, and what a great setting.
I think the only thing that can really get this French team, or the crowd, into the game, let alone the announcer, they get on the front foot here, and 18,000 here will be like 40,000.
They're with the ball 31 metres away from their own line, and working a short side play there. And it is Escaré, the young fullback. He's got some dancing feet, this kid. He's gone back 15 metres and then put down out wide. That would have been play on. Ragan kicked it forward. But Escaré, it was a darting run across field, but he was prepared to go backwards to go forwards, if you know what I mean.
Keep an eye on him, Escaré. He's a bit like a Matty Bowen or even a young Kevin Locke.
There's a touch of Preston Campbell about the run, former Player of the Year out in the Australian competition. Waria Hargreaves to play it. 25 metres away from the French line. New Zealand up by 6. Pritchard brings Locke into the play. He had Nightingale on his outside. Now Locke is headed back in field a bit like Escaré. And Martelino is with the ball. Wrapped up by Larouillère. 10 away from the line. Kiwis, another opportunity. And it is with 4, and held it up beautifully for Johnson. Then for Locke. Unmarked winger on the outside. Coming back in field. Tuivasa shot. We know he's got a beautiful step.
Good deep from the French.
Fage got across there. Now back 15 metres out. Johnson's kick. He's looking for Nightingale. Doesn't get there. It came down there for Luke. He's kept it alive. You won't stop Pritchard.
Time off.
Luke got it back for Frank Pritchard, but we're off to the video referee.
Check whether it's come off a New Zealand hand.
Just to check this one. The first point of contact with that ball came down. But Frankie Pritchard believes he has scored here. Video referee for this one is Shane Hone.
So possibly checking if they're onside. Looks good from there, from that picture. Nightingale goes to the air. And it's Starku who gets it and propels the ball forward, falls into the hands of Isaac Luke. No one in front of Pritchard. Pretty much pinpoint. First kick from foreign, second from there. Doesn't seem to be a problem there. Frank Pritchard, no problem. So the second kick also from Sean Johnson. Picture perfect.
You're hearing the voice now of Shane Hayne come through. And still he wants to check the ball coming down, but he wants to see the catch of the football. I don't think there was a little communication problem between video referee and director's truck.
Starku climbs up above everyone. Have a look at this. Nightingale goes early. Starku comes up over and above.
Well, Shane Hayne believes that Nightingale's arm comes into contact with the ball into the French player.
Okay, yeah, it's on the last, so it's going to be hand over, yeah.
I'm not as convinced as Shane Hayne, but he's going the way of the French here. He's going to rule no try. You at home can hear video referee deliberations. He's come up with a no-try decision. That makes Shane very popular.
Even if he's gone up and knocked it, he's knocked it back into the hands of Starku. But anyway, play on.
Well, that pleases the locals no end. La Royer will get us back underway. The changeover 10 metres out from the line. Pritchard thought he had a test try, not to be. 6-0 scoreline, 9 minutes gone. Crowd is in a festive mode here, but they would love to see something out of the box from the home team. Wouldn't it try make things lively, as England did to ignite the crowd in the World Cup opener in Cardiff when they led 10-0 as Waria Hargreaves came racing up. Not much in it.
10 as well, boys. High tackle when you've got to hold the 10.
Teammates next year, Castry and Hargreaves, getting well acquainted.
And Bentham straight onto it. So France will get an opportunity to go inside the New Zealand half. No Sonny Bill Williams in the 17-man squad. He's been doing a lot of interviews, though, here at the ground. And fans have come across from Toulon, where he played his rugby, just to see him in the flesh tonight. Again, good defence. It came from Madaleno on La Royer. And there is punishing stuff again from Waria Hargreaves, but not preventing the offload. And Kane Bentley took off for 10 metres. France 30 metres out. New Zealand trying to play a physical game. Not necessarily 100% effective. Now Elimar, the captain, is only 20 metres from the line.
Goal 3.
France building here, looking promising. Bosk offloads there to Casti. Casti does the same for Bentley. Fage lost it, got it back.
He's got it.
And that is tackle 4, 23 metres from the from the New Zealand line. France still with a good chance. And little kick through. It's that back. They go with Chuvasashek. He gets away from one and gets the ground.
Oh, great set of 6. And now penalty for the Kiwis.
Pulling back to the ground.
Pulling them back to the ground. You heard it here. But it was the captain. And then putting the little kick in. And did it well too.
Well,
bounced just up before the line.
I had to check my eyes. I couldn't believe it that it was the front rower putting in the kick. I didn't want to say his name. I thought that surely can't be. But Olivier Elimar showing...
We normally cut the leg off of the big fellas that put the kick through. But Elimar taken over from his halves there. Perfect.
29th test for his country tonight. Seeing the New Zealand coaches box, Stephen Kearney and Ivan Cleary there.
Move!
New Zealand in possession, 29 metres away from their own line. 2 first-up winners from opening round matches of the Rugby League World Cup. Going head-to-head here. Massive underdog, the French, but they're taking the contest to the Kiwis early. This is Nightingale. And again getting 3 in the tackle. Casti was the man around the legs. Elimar over the top. Mannering. That try double against the Samoans. He's thrown down into the Avignon turf. Luke takes off nicely. Got it away to Madaleno, who is certainly sending out a message loud and clear to Coach Kearney here in the opening of this match. Now Johnson's kick. Out towards the left wing. Again the flying player through is Chuvasashek. But ball has travelled forward. It's a tough job, isn't it? Being a man at the back at the end of a Johnson kick, and Frederick Vackery knew all about it right there.
He did well too, Vackery. Had no one shepherding the ball, no one taxing anyone off. Chuvasashek had a pretty clean go at it and had the running. But Vackery...
Time off. Who is it, mate? Simon. Yeah, you're going to have to fix the blood up.
All right, we just got a little problem. Simon Mannering, a bit bloodied at the moment.
He got absolutely snapped here on the left side of the field, Simon Mannering, courtesy of 3 French defenders, and that's the result.
It's all right now. It's tight goals, mate. It's tight goals. 2 guys jumping for the ball. Looks like it came off black hand.
Referee Bentham being cross-examined by the Kiwi players, taking an opportunity. Mannering in his second match as captain tonight. was due to lead the side back in the Anzac Test against Australia in Canberra earlier this year. Here's how the injury happened, and probably the left arm, wasn't it? And he was cartwheeled down. You take your pick. Mannering's not blowing up about it.
One, move!
It's footy.
Hold.
And it's Test match footy tonight from Avignon here in the southeast of France.
2, move!
Great junior system they have here.
Hold. Go, that's okay, 2.
It's been said to be the best in France. The junior program they have, something to
3,
be proud of.
Move!
Voss, if I can just say in this part of the game, the white armbands the Kiwis are wearing today in respect of the late Ron Ackland. So the white armbands there.
4,
France with the ball 15 metres inside their own half. The two Bentleys have been good. Kane, the man working dummy half, and the lock forward, Andrew Bentley. That was from inside the 40. The touch judge says over the sideline on the full. Wow, the video ref may have a little look and maybe say otherwise. Did it catch a bit of the line?
Poor old Kane Bentley. I thought this had gone just in. Whoa, you could argue that the point of the ball touched the grass first, Bossy. Of course you could.
No, the man in pink's right. The man in pink is 100% right. Mr. Atkins on this broadcast side touchline. You can't bag referees all over the world, Daryl.
I'm telling you, the point of the ball touched the grass first before the rest of it rolled onto the line. That's what we've got slow-mo for.
6-0 scoreline, 14 minutes gone, and it means that New Zealand will get a chance to start a set inside the French half. They moved all their players to the open side. And Nightingale is the man with the ball, and again, solid defence as the Kiwis make their first change of the night. And big Sam Cassiano comes on.
2,
Jared Maria Hargreaves to the bench.
Morgan.
Kiwis 30 metres away from the line. Luke goes short. No waste of time to get Cassiano into the play.
Hold 10.
French fans saying, Sacre bleu, what about the size of this bloke? And now the Kiwis, 10 metres away.
Goal line, get on the line.
They have one try on the board and one disallowed. Christian Inu is the man with a 4-pointer. Now Mannering very flat there to Cassiano. No head of steam up. Held by Bentley. 5 from the line. Luke is going to try and kick. Looked hard off the boot. Didn't see that one coming from Isaac Luke, and France hang on.
They were set up both sides, and Simon Mannering put a short ball on for Bing Cassiano, and they wanted to go wide out the back. And then Isaac Luke comes up with a kick from dummy half, and just too much weight on it. Disappointing set.
Move!
Bentley takes the first one for France. Competing well. And can't ask for too much more than that. Regan then tackled just outside the 30. A lot of experience in terms of international football in this forward pack. And Trent Robinson, the former Catalans coach, said that is where they will base their game, and they're just going to try and chip away. Remy Casti almost back to halfway.
Lovely work from the hooker, Kane Bentley.
And now Fage wants it out wide off the chest is the call. So play on for Frederic Vacari to come back to centre field. And Frederic gets the headlock applied by Ben Madaleno. All's fair in love and war. And the France team from 45 minutes out. Boy, he can launch one. Thomas Bosk. It'll come down having bounced off a satellite. Locks put it down. Fage has got it. Fage for the line. And Fage is just half a metre away. France with a full centre six. Now the crowd is lively. Referee Bentham finds a penalty. I think the French fans want a sin bidding.
Twice they've come down here, and twice they've gone to the air with the goods.
Quick tap with Bentley! He's eaten up by Dogzilla. Sam Cassiano has squashed him. France with the ball, and Bosk, he got the first try against Papua New Guinea. He put it there on a plate there for Laruayer. Listen to this crowd in Avignon. They are really making a racket. Bosk across field. It just breaks down a little as Casti has offloaded loose. Escade goes back for it. Tries to step Johnson. And they lose 20 metres on the play. Johnson and Inu make the tackle. France though still in possession. Dupont is able to get them back into the 20. 15 away from the line. A couple of tackles up their sleeve. Fage slows it up there. Elimar goes for a run, cut offload. Cassiano over the top. Last tackle for France. Where's the kick going to come from? Another penalty to France. On the last tackle.
Well, discipline was something Stephen Kearney spoke to his team about before they started this match.
Tap again. Let's go again, baby. Bentley is tackled 3 metres away from the line. Cassiano and Luke there. The French fans willing their team to score. And Escarre, is picked up and dumped into the ground. That's an energetic tackle by Bryson Goodwin. And gives him a little nudge as well. Another run for Casti. 2 front rowers trying to lead the way for France. Casti and Elimar. Bentley, left side. Boss, good ball. Fage. Changing the angle was Regan. And able to make the tackle, Alex Glenn and Johnson. France just not quite crisp enough at the moment. Fage, short side. Dupont is close to the line. He had the crowd hopping on his back in the run. Inu, hang on. Last tackle again for France. Back-to-back sets. Fage to Boss. Doesn't go as high this time. He's looking for the winger. Nightingale goes up. It's been knocked forward there by Stackle. The crowd has gone up, but knock on clearly the call. And it will be a changeover. Cyril Stackle came up with a knock-on. And Coach Agar knows it.
This is the last play. Look at Staku goes up, just gets there a little bit early and only can get the one hand to it, propelled forward. Great tackle by Kristen Inu on the right, which stopped an almost certain French try.
Doesn't he run hard, Vincent Dupont, that left centre. He is a player to watch.
Went straight past Cassiano.
He's got some game. Now Nightingale. So just a 6-0 scoreline through 19 minutes. It was an entirely different story in the Kiwis' opening match against Samoa. They'd posted 3 tries by this point. And now Luke, New Zealand just outside the 30. Physical in the centre as Cassiano was met front on by Regan. And Big Elimar there as well. Loving what the captain's doing. Here's another penalty. This time to New Zealand. And you just got to hope that France stay in touch here, having had a chance to score and not coming up with points. Now they're going to find themselves defending deep inside their own half.
Well, they reckon the real impact that will come off the bench will be big Jamal Fakir. He can add some real punch to this team, and I'm glad I got that out of the way, Vossi, so I'll let you take over now.
He's one of the veterans, 31 years of age. Jamil Fakir, he's on the bench right now. He's ready to come on. In fact, he's up onto the sideline, along with Gregory Muniz. A lot of experience there on their bench. Now with Greg Eastwood. Plays his first match at the Cup tonight. He's a member of the 08 side. Came off the bench in the final. Foreign. See, this is a little more crisp for the Kiwis' work compared to France. Lot better in the tackle. There's Jean-Philippe Bayo. To centrefield they come with Pritchard. Does a little head wobble and a stamping. Frankie is dragged to ground by Sebastian Regan. Just a metre from the line. Luke fires it back for Foreign. Johnson has lost the ball. Fage comes up with it for France. And Fage is away. He stopped, he started. Now the whistle is blown again. Bosca's downfield. Half the crowd know what's going on, half the crowd don't. The man in pink, he has the final say.
Well, he didn't really know what was going on there for a minute. He played on, then went back, then played on again, then finally blew the whistle. Let's have a look at it. They go out the back, and Johnson comes up. Nice play from Dupont, who was caught in field.
Well, I can't.
He had to have ruled that it was passed into the French player, who then knocked the ball down and knocked it forward.
I don't think it was, and it certainly wasn't the call of referee Bentham, because you saw on that replay he's looking off to his left, looking for some help from his sideline official. But Johnson
on this goal line,
made
boys,
the
when we're
first
back,
knock
France.
on.
Goal line.
Johnson's passed it into the
You
arms.
think so? Okay.
For sure.
All right, Tuvasashek, so Foreign, big chance, and Goodwin's got it away to Nightingale. Nightingale for the corner, great tackle. The French have come up with a try-saver in the corner. Cyril Staku was over that side, defending his wing. And Jean-Philippe Bayo is there as well.
Great work from Staku.
From France.
He had to put his body on the line. One-on-one takes Nightingale. Then the touch. And that's a risk from the scrum play. How much room do you give to your opponent? Staku got it perfect. I thought Nightingale was there, and so did he.
Cyril Staku, 15 test matches for his country, and Got assistance from Jean-Philippe Bail.
Teams, lads, let's give space to the
And
ruck.
they prevent another
Teams got
try.
space to play the ball at the ruck.
This is quite the World Cup. If you know
Stand
you
off,
had your doubts
ball.
about this tournament, you've got to be impressed with what you've seen in this first week, and not just from the big teams. I'm talking about the efforts of Scotland and the efforts of the USA and Italy and now France tonight,
Got a whistle in there.
rallying against the team, as I said, last Sunday night in Warrington. They've all got big scrapbooks, this New Zealand side.
Hold. Go, good.
And France are taking it to them. And it's good to see. Now inside their own 10. I don't know whether that's good to see for their coach, Richard Agar. He'll go into cardiac arrest with that sort of play.
Stay square.
Find the balance and have something to mix it up a little bit out of the yardage set.
3 offloads inside your own 10. Don't often see that.
Move.
So France with the ball 15 metres away from their own line, trailing by 6 points to 0. The first try of the night came in the 4th minute to Krisden Inu off a kick, and that's another thing that's got to be said. The try that was scored and the try that was disallowed were both off kicks. It's not a matter of breaking the French defensive line, and there's a knock on by Jamal Fakir.
Before they play the ball. Played the ball forward with the foot.
So,
First touch
not
of
a
the
good
ball
moment for Jamal.
for the big fella.
I thought they were away from him.
Played a couple of internationals in his time for Morocco, the nation of his
They
birth.
were away from him.
Jamal Fakir.
There's some great stories. Let's have a look at it here. Straight into the tackle, leads with the elbow, Mannering over top. Plenty of heavyweights here, Pritchard and Cassiano to boot.
Kieran.
I like you, Vossi. When round one finished of this Rugby World Cup, after every team had a game, it was something else. And this is the start of round 2. And it's lifting a level.
Nightingale with it for New Zealand, 35 metres away from the line. St George Illawarra winger back in the NRL. Jason Nightingale, test debut in 08. This is Eastwood with the ball. Plenty of size about Greg as well. Has played footy over here with the Leeds Rhinos in the Super League. Now with Cassiano, he's offloaded. Bit of luck with the pass. He found Luke. He sort of just did a
alley-oop.
Well, you'd call it a Harbour Bridge pass in Sydney.
Goal 3.
And now Pritchard gets the dummy half. Don't often see him there. Foreign offloads. This is the captain, Mannering. He's looking to do the same, but unable to do so. Getting in nice and low in the tackle was Bosk. As the ball comes up for Johnson. Johnson's got it to Inu. Nice right foot step. Planted that right foot. Bounced back into the tackle at Sebastian Aragon. 5 minutes away from the line. New Zealand up by 6. 25 minutes gone. Another kick across field. There. What a take. What a take there by Bryson Goodwin. Two-handed catch as Krisden Inu did earlier. The kick is deadly tonight from New Zealand. It is 2 tries up and 10-0.
Well, Krisden Inu gets the first one in similar circumstances. Bryson Goodwin the second. Again, not kicking right to the corner to expose Starku. And Bale, a little bit of indecision between the centre and the winger, allows Bryson Goodwin to go straight through. No real attempt from the French, again, to contest that football.
Goodwin had a tough night in that first game, didn't he? Lined up against Joseph Lalua in the Samoan side, and he gets another chance to set the record straight tonight. He'd like that.
Certainly would. You saw it in his aggression down the far end of the football field. He come up and made a tackle and had a little bit of a push and shove just to let everyone know he's on his game tonight. And then Bryson Goodwin shows us his aerial skills to put himself on the scoreboard. But I guess that's the area to kick to. Maybe it's not the area for the winger to come up with it in terms of Starku. And then also Bale, put them in some sort of indecision. Placed perfectly by this man, Sean Johnson.
Last time these sides played in France was 2009. Big victory to New Zealand. And that may be the case. Over 80 minutes, this scoreline could blow out, but you've got to like what you're seeing from the French early on. 26 minutes gone. They find themselves 2 converted tries down at 12-0. Avignon is the venue. We'll have another game in France in Perpignan on Monday week when the Samoans take on France. And a lovely moment there for Bryson Goodwin. Really did resurrect his rugby league career this season with South Sydney in the NRL. So restart of play at 12-0. The two centres, the try scorers, Inu and Goodwin, and Johnson 2 from 2. And Eastwood, back he comes as far as the 20-metre line. Kiwis, defending champions at the World Cup. Big run, Cassiano.
Move! Wait, goal.
Fans up in Warrington, they loved watching Mossy Massoy. The French are aghast at the moment by the efforts of Cassiano here.
Hold! Goal.
40-metre line you can see, and Luke takes it back for Johnson, and a chance for the 40-20. This one floats downfield. Johnson, one bounce, but it bounced back in. Bit of luck there for Frederic Vacari at the back. And then he's no luck at the tackle. He's punished.
They kicked early to get downtown here, realising France having a little bit of trouble. Getting out of their own end. Shoulders on.
Cyril Staku, winger in the call, and they've nailed him as well. So now New Zealand get nice and physical. Mannering, Eastwood, 4 and all in that tackle. 3 down, and they're only just outside their 20. This is Mika Simon.
4, move!
Coach Agar going to all of his bench players. Benjamin Garcia, on the bench is an interesting player. Had a bit of time with the Broncos under 20s in Australia. He's the man who just played the ball. Well, that's a terrible kick. I don't know what happened there with Gregory Muniz. Haven't seen too many grubbers from your own 40.
Isaac Luke all over top of him. Didn't get himself back far enough from the play the ball.
2.
So New Zealand with it. 35 metres away from the France line. Luke, on it comes for Tuivasa-Sheck. They will know that this kid has a deadly step. Cassiano's gone off to the bench. You'll see Frank Paul Nuasala in just a moment. Foreign passes there to Pritchard. Flat ball there to Mannering. That's been knocked down. Johnson's onto it. Johnson, that overhead ball. Inu's got it. Inu coming back infield. Tries to fend away from Fage.
4.
But Dupont and Fage make the tackle. They are 15 from the French line, looking for a third try. That looked forward to Luke. It was forward. Not good from New Zealand. Big Sam takes a breather.
So no real structure to that last couple of plays for the Kiwis. Everyone seemed to have a show and a go in them and wanted to move across field instead of someone heading north-south. Isaac Luke standing in front of Eastwood.
What a great sight this is around the ground as we see the shots coming through from the French bench. But
heads in, back roll.
This is just a tremendous moment for League down in the south of France as they try to get the game back to its glory days. And nights like this really help because you've got to remember, it's the southwest of France where Catalan Dragons are based. There's a big tackle almost
Isaac Luke
past the horizontal. The drive by Isaac Luke. But if they ever have a second Super League side out of France, it's reckoning that it's going to be from Toulouse. And then the grand plan down the track is to have a team from northern Italy. As that is put down by Fakir. He's not having a good time of it, Jamal.
20 in, guys. On 3.
I think it was actually Simon who had run the football there. Not quite the size of Fakir.
Right.
He's about twice the size. Rather huge lump of a lad. So mistakes creeping into the French game, offering the Kiwis plenty of field position.
Don't get caught down there.
And now the execution of the Kiwis will come.
Well, we saw Olivier Elimar, their captain, on the bench. Wonderful opening, really, from the two front rowers, but the captain was very good. Elimar and Kashki taking it to the New Zealand forwards. So Kiwis win the scrum, 30 away from the French line. 30 and a half minutes gone. A 12-0 scoreline. Kiwis over France.
Well done.
France have had limited opportunities at the New Zealand end of the field, but did have one red-hot go.
2.
Came up short of the line.
Wait for it, goal.
It's a need to hang on in this set. Johnson there for Eastwood. He's almost away.
Move!
They've got two beasts in their side.
Morgan!
Manu Vaduvai, who's not there tonight. Now Foreign. Rolled to ground by Bosk.
Hold. Goal 4, yep. Right.
This is Goodwin. Pritchard again finds himself in a ball-playing role. Frankie Pritchard
5.
Doesn't offload. Last tackle for New Zealand. Foreign left side, Johnson right. Johnson with it. Johnson's kick. There's space there for Tuivasa-Sheck. Knocked back by New Zealand. Play on for Dupont. And
Knock on,
then
hand over.
he will say knock on New Zealand. So France have hung on. Well done.
Yeah.
This time Johnson goes deep to the corner, tries to put the ball over the head. Tuivasa-Sheck realises he can't catch and put that down.
Ready?
We've seen
On
some
you.
pretty good
Go, don't dummy it. Play
aero
on.
acrobatic displays
No,
this
dummy
year
it,
in the
dummy it.
NRL, but he bats it back
First.
and then knocked on by
Move.
Johnson.
Hold. Go. Yeah, dummy the play.
Showing
Ball,
some
mate.
defensive steel, this French side.
Absolutely.
2. Move.
I think I saw
Hold.
a stat where they're saying there's as many
Go, can't make that out.
registered players in France now as there is in New Zealand. So interest in the game
3.
is good.
Move. Wait.
And they are 25 minutes inside their own half. Ball has come loose.
Handed on the ruck. Penalty.
And there you go.
Knocked it out.
Referee Bentham got some instruction from the sideline. France get the penalty. Crowd unaware because he's made the ruling without actually blowing the whistle. Is that right? He didn't blow the whistle. He's just explained it, and then
Can't talk to
and the crowd just sat silent. But what's going on there?
Well, they all knew.
Bosca's got it on. That's my man, Jamil Fakir. And Fakir is tackled 29 minutes away from the New Zealand line.
Hold.
They have a chance. It's been a while since they've been down this end. Muniz to Bosk. He takes it up to the line, but put down by Laduwayer. And away goes Locke. Nightingale wrapped up in the tackle of Laduwayer.
Go.
But Bosk does take it right up to the line, doesn't he? The French 5'8".
First. Move.
Now Goodwin outside the 30. We get to the
17's
34th
not in.
minute. And still only 2 tries on the board. Now for Luke. Away goes Luke. Can't find Locke. French should come up with the ball. Bentham says, well, he said backwards. That's incredible. And away goes Tuivasa-Sheck. They may come back to the video referee. Well, you clearly heard referee Bentham say knock back, but I've got a very strong suspicion this try will be disallowed. But watch Tuivasa-Sheck, once he got a little opening to go through, he can slip under the gap under the door. He's that quick and that elusive. Good run to start with by Luke.
Isaac Luke busts right through, goes straight through Starku. And then the pass, well, it really was a shocker. Did Kevin Locke get a hand to it, trying to push up on the right-hand side? Looked like he did in the first instance. And then when Tuivasa-Sheck he put the step on Farge. He only had Kiwis in front of him. Let's have a look here. Johnson goes back. That's certainly backwards there. But prior to that, with the hand of Kevin Locke going down.
We can only just hear, we're not quite sure how clearly you are hearing Shane Hayne at home, video referee. No touch to call. There you go, you get the call straight away at home. Shane Hayne's decided that it's the second touch is knocked on, not the first. So this confirmed to the crowd. They celebrate again. And France hang on again. 12-0 scoreline. 33 and a half gone. He stood back on the bench for New Zealand.
I won't harper on the point, but I thought the only way that could be a knock-on is Kevin Locke's hand first. However, we are in France. Have a smile and play on.
Let's form the scrum, boys.
New Zealand not too happy with that decision. Sean Johnson having a good chat with referee Bentham.
One more in there.
Once it's gone upstairs, there's absolutely
Wait
nothing
for it.
referee Bentham can do. Shane
Phil,
Haynes
just
making
wait.
the call.
Heads in. Let's pack quicker. Okay.
Yeah, I love the scrum tuition. Vincent Dupont with it. 5 inside his own half. He gets more of the football in the second half.
Good.
He does look a damaging player.
2.
And Samoa did have some success out in the centres in that match last Sunday.
Goal 2.
Now Muniz. And to centre field, but slowed down there. The run of
3.
Garcia.
Move.
A couple of games after coming across from the Broncos with the Catalans club late in the season. And then Fakir is met front on by the New Zealand defence. 40 metres away from the Kiwis line. A try before half-time.
Move!
Well, they don't eat pies at half-time. What do they have here? Baguettes? What do they eat? It'll make the baguettes go down better.
They get that orange.
Hand over.
Maybe a crepe. And a bit of an anticlimax at the end of the set. They don't get a kick in. They don't get anything in. And a changeover. New Zealand ball inside their 30.
That's a poor mistake when you consider the boot of Bosch. And the first 2 times they've gone to the air and Kevin Locke has put both down. Oh, they would have loved to have done that for a 3rd time.
Nightingale, nice run.
2, move!
Half lost the shorts on the way through. He's 3 metres inside the New Zealand half. I'm still getting out the pork roll up in Warrington from last Sunday.
10 metres.
Machita Packet runs a close second here in Avignon. Very tasty. Waria Hargreaves is offloaded. Luke does well. Pritchard gets it on the bounce. He's been busy in the first half, and it's been a lot of this sort of play. It's been the world's biggest 5'8" tonight. Frank Pritchard.
And then that pass is just not required. He tries a Hail Mary out the back after spinning in the tackle, and it was going to no one, and it deserved to be picked up by France.
Move!
Poor play.
Oh, boys,
so inside the final 5 minutes of the first half, and France have more possession, and Dupont again. Hard to stop.
Wait.
Waria Hargreaves, though, made the tackle right on halfway, and some earnest charges now.
Move!
Ragan took it inside the New Zealand half.
Go. That's it. Well done, 4.
There's not a whole lot of daring about the French play, but they're just trying to chip away at this New Zealand defence. Simon inside the 40.
Go. 5.
Tackle made by Elijah Taylor. Last tackle. Bosk has gone high again. He's launched another one. Nightingale has got it for New Zealand. Good take. These are huge kicks from Thomas Bosk. Move!
Do you think Kevin Locke was nervous there when that one went up?
Well, I've come here, prepared to say Johnson kicks the ball higher than any man in rugby league. But Thomas Bosk is giving him a run for his money.
3.
Locke out of dummy half. Was he held? Yes, he was. You heard the call.
Go. Okay, well
the French have enticed the Kiwis into a game of rugby league which suits them. Couple of offloads, couple of scrags, not quick play the balls from the Kiwis, and therefore they're away from their structure.
Now Luke on to Waria Hargreaves. They try and go up the set of this set. Luke starting to punch some holes in the French defence. And as offloaded there nicely, Locke feeds it along. This time Pritchard lets it go. Now with Goodwin, straightens up, offloads beautifully to Foran, and Foran is tackled. 10 from the French line. Last tackle. Pritchard, good play. Juggled by Nightingale. Nightingale has lost it. And they're going to rule
first, boys.
Oh, they're going to rule knock on against France first. New Zealand will get a scrum feed here. 10 away.
No advantage.
3 minutes to go first half.
There's some learning here, and that's the spaces on the outside. They go to the outside in the last play of the ball. Nightingale only just grasps it. No way they're going to get a kick in. Tries to squeeze a pass in between Pescargay and another French player. So therefore they get the ball back. But all the work they've been doing in the middle of the park, the Kiwis, while it's been good, the space is on the outside.
All players on the open side here. There's a massive hole on the blind side if they want to do something sneaky and spin the scrum. They don't. Nightingale to Johnson. Johnson finds Mannering. Almost exploding through the defence there. Fage was able to hang on with Muniz. Now the ball is with Waria Hargreaves. Good tackle down low, Mika Simon. French crowd needing to lift their team here as the ball hit and spin. Try it is. Frank Paul Nuasala scores for New Zealand. Their 3rd try. Their first where they've actually run it across the try line tonight. Frank Paul Nuasala.
Just good field position. Players in action. They set it up right in the middle of the post. Foran organising his troops out the back. And then Frank Paul with a nice short little run back towards the post. Nice and simple. Good work from Isaac Luke. A little bit of a no-look pass. Flat at best. The simple things work well.
Yeah, Frank Paul Nuasala in the NRL Grand Final in Australia, Sydney Roosters and Manly. Actually only had 16 minutes of game time, Frank Paul, in the big one. But that's the way the game can be these days. Daniel Mortimer, another replacement that night. He only had much the same. Cleary and Kearney getting ready to give their halftime speech to the New Zealand players. I don't think overly happy with the performance. But again, you know, I think just like their first game in Warrington, where Samoa came back at them, you've got to give credit to the opposition. France have come here with a plan to compete, passion, desperation, and they've stayed committed right through this first half.
Oh, if you can come here and put the opposition off their game, which France have done for the last 15 minutes, then that's fantastic. It's exactly what you're supposed to do. There's Shaun Johnson, probably his easiest attempt of the night. Just.
Good morning to our viewers watching on Sky Sport in New Zealand, watching the Kiwi team. Host broadcaster Premier Sports across the United Kingdom, and viewers in Australia, early morning there on 7 mate. And Frank Paul Nuasala coming up with a try. We're coming to you from Avignon, in the southeast of France. It is the city of popes, as it was known back in the 1300s and the 1400s. The building of the palace in Avignon, it is quite an unbelievable structure. It just blows you away. It's one of those wow moments when you see it for the first time. Waria Hargreaves comes back. And the story goes, it was just the summer beach house for the Pope. I mean, it was just his home away from home. He's built something that's the size of Ayers Rock in Australia. So, penalty goes the way of New Zealand. They will have a chance for one more play in the first half. I think we've had the half-time siren there. So, yes, it has sounded. So, one last play for the Kiwis. Let's see if they've got something in the box of tricks. Maybe a kick. Goodwin, I think, has had the signal out at left centre. And Nightingale, I think something's going to come far and long here. Johnson, here it goes. The kick, in fact, he goes down the centre. Foreigners charging through. Escalade, he doesn't come up with the ball. It's loose there for the Kiwis. It's batted along the ground. Play on, no. France come up with it with Dupont. And that ends an entertaining first half here in Avignon. Oh, hang on, is he going to say offside? Is he? What's he saying, referee Bentham?
No, mate, because
the half-time siren has sounded.
One of your guys puts him back on, touching it.
There you go. He explains it to Shaun Johnson. So the first half is completed. And 3 tries scored in that first half, all converted by Shaun Johnson. Inu in the 4th minute, Goodwin the 25th, and Nuasala coming up with a try 4 minutes out from half-time. 18 points to 0. New Zealand over France.
Sport. It does not build character, it reveals it. 14 nations will converge for the honour of their jersey. The Rugby League World Cup. Check guides for times. Live Sky Sport.
Welcome to uses for credit card rewards you never use. Today, the rice cooker. A Planter pot.